The first thing you learn about a perfect plan is that it doesn't survive contact with a single human heartbeat. Not the guards, not the police, not the locks. A heartbeat. Because a heartbeat comes with a history, and history is the one variable you can't neutralize with math. That's what he told me anyway, on the night he decided to turn a building full of money into a machine that prints it. He didn't call it a robbery. He called it a model. A model, he said, is reality with the mercy removed. We were sitting in a room that smelled like disinfectant and old paper, a room so quiet you could hear your own thoughts negotiating terms with your fear. On the table, a chessboard with pieces arranged wrong on purpose, a white king placed where it should never be, a queen turned sideways like a corpse. He watched me notice. He liked that. He liked people who noticed things. "Why is the king there?" I asked. He didn't answer immediately. He let the silence inflate, the way you let a balloon swell until you can't tell if it's going to fly or explode. "Because," he said, "everyone guards what they're told is valuable. Nobody guards what they don't understand." Then he slid a folder toward me. Inside were photographs, faces. Not mugshots, worse. Mugshots are honest. These were photos of people trying to look normal while carrying a private apocalypse behind their eyes. "You are building a team," I said. "I'm building an equation," he replied. "A team is emotional. An equation is obedient." That should have been my cue to leave, but leaving is a luxury for people whose lives haven't already collapsed. When your life collapses, you stop asking whether a door is safe. You only ask whether it leads somewhere else. He tapped the folder. "Pick one," he said. "Who do you think breaks first?" I looked at the faces again. I didn't know their names yet, but I knew types. Everyone knows types. We pretend we don't. We say we're not judgmental. Then we judge in silence and call it intuition. I pointed at a woman with eyes like a lit match, too bright, too quick, too close to burning out. Her. He smiled, almost gently, like a doctor pleased you've diagnosed the disease. "Good," he said. "She's not weak, she's volatile. Weak is predictable. Volatile is expensive." He stood, walked to the chessboard, and flicked the sideways queen upright. "Rule 1, he said. "No names." I blinked. "No names?" "Names are handcuffs," he said. "If you can name someone, you can imagine them as a person. And if you imagine them as a person, you'll make exceptions for them. Exceptions get you killed." He moved a pawn forward. "Rule 2, he continued. "No personal stories." "That's not realistic." "No," he agreed. "It's necessary." He moved another pawn. "Rule 3, he said, voice flattening into something colder. "You are not heroes." That one landed differently. Most people join a dangerous plan because they secretly want to be the protagonist of their own rescue story. He was cutting that fantasy out of us like a surgeon removing a tumor. "You're not here to win," he said. "You're here to execute." I should have hated him. Instead, I felt something worse. Relief. Relief is what you feel when someone finally admits the truth you've been choking on. We spent days inside that farmhouse, far enough from the city that the world felt like a rumor. He trained us like we were being stripped for parts and rebuilt into tools. Not with drills, with questions. "What's the fastest way to lose control of a crowd?" he asked. Someone answered, "Fear." He shook his head. Too vague. Another answered, "Violence." "No," he said. "Violence is loud. Loud is manageable. The fastest way is uncertainty. Uncertainty turns a crowd into an animal. An animal doesn't negotiate." He paced in front of us, chalk in hand, drawing boxes and arrows on a board like he was diagramming a mind. "This is not a siege," he said. "This is a performance." He wrote one word in the center of the board: perception. "You will not control the hostages with weapons," he said. you will control them with a story. And stories have rules. He underlined the word twice. If they believe you're professionals, he said, they stay compliant. If they believe you're desperate, they become unpredictable. If they believe you're monsters, the police come in fast. If they believe you're rational, the police negotiate. Your job is to keep them believing the right lie.
Someone laughed, nervous, wrong timing. He turned his head slowly, like a predator that has decided whether the sound is prey or threat. "What's funny?" he asked. The laughter died. He stepped closer. "People think the most dangerous thing in a heist is a gun," he said. "It's not. The most dangerous thing is an ego. Egos need applause. Applause is noise. Noise attracts consequences." Then he named the building, not by its official title. He said it like a destination that had been waiting for us. "The Mint," he said. We all knew it. Everyone knows it. A sacred place disguised as a bureaucratic one. A building where value is made real by ink and signatures. He looked at us one by one, making sure the image infected our minds. "We are not taking money from the Mint," he said. "We are forcing the Mint to make money for us." That sentence was the hook that rewired the room. Because stealing is simple. Printing is blasphemy. Printing means you're not robbing a bank. You're robbing the idea of order.
On the final night, he gave us our city names, not as costumes, as amputations. Tokyo, Berlin, Nairobi, Rio, Denver, Moscow. Names that sounded romantic, until you realize romance is just danger with better lighting. He stopped at me. "Your name is..." he began. "No," I said before he could finish. My throat was dry. "I don't want one." A pause. He studied me like a new variable. Then he nodded as if I'd proven something. "That," he said quietly, "is why you're here." We drove at dawn. The city looked ordinary, which is how cities hide their violence. Buildings stacked like teeth, cars flowing like blood, people walking in straight lines pretending straight lines mean purpose. I watched the Mint appear between streets like a thought you can't unthink. It wasn't beautiful. It was institutional. That's what made it powerful. It didn't need to seduce you. It expected obedience. Inside the vehicle, nobody spoke in motivational speeches. Nobody promised glory. That kind of talk is for amateurs and doomed men. Berlin checked his watch like time was his personal employee. Tokyo, too restless, kept shifting, like her body was trying to escape before her mind could decide. Nairobi stared forward, calm in a way that made me uneasy. Calm can be courage. Calm can also be denial. We stopped. We stepped out. And then we did the one thing you should never do if you want to remain invisible. We became a moment. Moments are visible. A guard saw us. A teacher saw us. A student saw us. A child saw us. Children always see the truth first, because they haven't learned to lie to themselves politely. Then the first command went out. Not screamed like a movie, spoken like a verdict. Down. One word turns a room into a new world. Down means gravity has changed. Down means the floor is no longer neutral. Down means your spine becomes a confession. People hesitated. Of course they did. The brain needs a second to accept that reality has been replaced. Tokyo moved fast, too fast, her voice sharp enough to cut glass. Berlin moved slower, which was worse. Slowness implies certainty. Certainty is contagious. Within minutes, the lobby had transformed into an equation. Bodies on the floor, weapons visible, exits defined, rules established.
I watched faces. A man's jaw clenched so tight it looked like it might crack. A woman's eyes darted toward a door, calculating distance. A student tried to laugh, a small, stupid laugh, like humor could restore normalcy. Normalcy is fragile. That's why people worship it. Then a hostage stood up. Not heroically, not dramatically, just up. It was a small rebellion, like a match struck in a room full of gasoline. Tokyo pivoted immediately, weapon tracking the movement. Berlin's hand lifted, not to stop her gun, but to stop her impulse. And that is the first real fight of any operation, the fight between the plan and the people executing it. The hostage froze. Everyone froze. The air turned thin. Berlin spoke, voice low, controlled. "Sit," he said, "or this becomes something you don't want to be part of." The hostage sat. The room exhaled. Tokyo didn't. Her eyes stayed bright, hungry, not for violence, for certainty. Some people can't tolerate a world where they don't know what happens next. They would rather trigger disaster than sit inside suspense. That was the first hairline fracture in the model. We moved deeper into the building. Hallways, offices, a maze of function and paperwork and locked doors that pretended they were more important than human beings. We gathered hostages. We separated staff from visitors. We created groups, because groups are controllable, individuals are unpredictable. And all the while, outside, the city continued breathing, unaware it had just swallowed a poison capsule. Then someone pressed an alarm. They always do. It's not courage, it's instinct. When humans panic, they reach for systems. Alarms are the prayer of modern civilization. The sound didn't matter. The sound was expected. What mattered was what the sound caused. Some hostages started crying. Others started bargaining. A few started watching us with a new kind of interest, the kind that says, "What is this really?" Because smart people don't just fear danger, they analyze it. Berlin ordered everyone into a larger space, a contained arena. He spoke again, not as a villain, not as a savior, as a narrator. "You will do exactly what we say," he told them, "and you will leave alive." It was a promise crafted to feel like mercy. He didn't say we were here to print money. He didn't say we intended to stay. He said what they needed most in that moment: a future. Because a hostage without a future becomes an animal. A hostage with a future becomes manageable. But futures are delicate. Tokyo paced. Denver grinned too much. Nairobi watched the hostages like she was already building a relationship with them. Dangerous, but useful. Then Berlin made a decision that every model requires: a demonstration. Not violence, yet control. He selected a single person, not because that person mattered, but because the crowd needed to see a boundary. "Look at me," Berlin said. The person looked. The crowd looked. And for a moment, the model held. Upstairs, the machines were being prepared. Paper, plates, ink. Not details, just inevitabilities. The Mint was about to become a factory, with guns as managers. Outside, sirens multiplied. The city started to notice its own pulse quicken. The police arrived, not as heroes, as procedure. Cameras appeared, news vans, the hungry mouth of public attention opening wide. And then the negotiator arrived.
A woman stepping out of a car with the posture of someone who doesn't believe in miracles, only leverage. Her eyes found the building like a sniper finds a target. She didn't look panicked. That's how you know she's dangerous. Inside, Tokyo watched the windows like the world owed her an explanation. Berlin watched the hostages. And I watched the team. Because the building wasn't our only problem. We had brought the outside world inside with us. Every addiction, every trauma, every ego. We were not 7 criminals with masks. We were 7 unstable variables, pretending to be constants. Berlin's phone rang. A private ringtone. Not loud. Not for the room. He answered without hesitation. Yes, he said. Pause. Then his expression changed slightly. So slightly most people would miss it. But I didn't. He listened. He nodded once. And he said, "Then we begin phase 2. He hung up. Tokyo stared at him. Who was that? Berlin smiled. A ghost, he said. The only one who can see the whole board. Outside, the negotiator raised a megaphone and spoke the first official words of the siege. Inside, the hostages flinched like the sound had touched their skin. And somewhere in the noise of sirens and fear and cameras, the first true question finally formed in the public mind. If they're not here to steal what's already printed, what are they here to make?
Tokyo's fingers tightened on the gun. A hostage began to pray. And in that exact moment, before anyone fired a shot, before anyone bled, the model encountered its first brutal truth. You can calculate risk. You can't calculate a person deciding they'd rather die than obey. A man near the back stood up again, not slowly this time, fast, desperate, like he'd made a decision in the dark and now needed to execute it before the light returned. Tokyo moved. Berlin shouted her name. The room snapped into a single frozen frame, and the world tipped toward the outcome nobody can reverse. Because the difference between control and catastrophe is often less than 1 second.